Now then, Andy, I want to talk about football. I want to talk some football matters with you.
Let's
Professional who's played at the highest level, right?
Right.
And I want some answers to some of those questions, which I can't fathom out, but you probably can.
Okay. By
the way, nice location here. Did you have any trouble getting here today?
Parking, a little bit of a problem because it's belting down with rain outside, and whenever it's raining...
Have you seen the price of parking in town centres now? There was a survey in the paper this morning. It's up to £3.50 an hour.
It is, £3 an hour, yeah.
£3 an hour.
And you've never quite got enough change, have you? Why is it, whenever you come to park your car, you're just a little bit short?
Yeah, but you know, all these councils go around saying, oh, we've frozen your council tax and all that. They freeze your council tax and then double, you know, every other charge in town. £3 an hour for parking. Where on earth are they going to revitalise economies in this country when they're charging people literally like £9 for 3 hours?
Diabolical. Do you remember when we used to talk about hospital parking?
Yeah.
The charges for hospitals as well. Diabolical.
Disgraceful. That's a tax on the suffering.
It is.
I mean, I was in hospital, mate. I was suffering. I mean, obviously, I was stoic about it, and I was rather brave about it. You know what I mean?
I remember.
But the sadness was when the family came, I could realise that they were paying £3 an hour to park the car up there.
Yeah.
The reason I mention it is when it's raining, I get irritated. I get irritated because we've got potholes. We've had a campaign against potholes, you and me, for years.
I'm a motorbike rider. Talk to me about potholes, Michael, because I ride my bikes.
You could kill yourself on a motorbike.
Absolutely. If it's full of water or full of rubbish and all bangs down it, you can be off your bike.
A woman, a pensioner, out cycling with her husband the other day, come down a hill somewhere in Yorkshire, something like that.
Yes.
Puddle, front wheel went in it. It's a 2-foot deep puddle in a pothole.
Yes. Bang, she was off.
Lost her life. You know, it's terrible. Listen about the puddle. About this. So there I am walking along. This is in stockbroker belt territory, and I'm just walking along, behaving myself, you know. And it has been raining, and there's a puddle at the side of the road. A bus comes down, right, and this bus driver deliberately, now whether he clocked me or not, I don't know, but the bus moved in about 6 inches, whoosh, straight through the puddle, drenched top to bottom. I'm not joking. It was dreadful, and I was on my way to a studio to do some work. You know.
Was anyone laughing?
Everybody on the bus,
yeah.
But I wasn't laughing.
No.
Right? So anyway, I got very angry about this, and I decided that I wasn't going to let it go. So what I did was, I had already a plan in my head. I was going to get this bus driver, and I turned up the next day, right, at the same time, and there was a bus stop just in front of where he'd done me, because there'd been nobody waiting there. So I was going to take a water pistol, but I formulated this plan with a mate who said, actually, that's an offensive weapon.
I was going to say, if you go walking on the high street with what looks like a gun...
I know, well, it's a water... Anyway, actually, you can't buy water pistols these days, because I didn't go and try and buy one, yeah. So what I did was, I went home, and you know those yellow Jiffy things that they have lemon in them?
Yes.
When you're making pancakes and all that. I got one of those, and I emptied it, right?
Right.
I filled it full of water.
Right.
So I had this in my pocket, right? I had this in my pocket. I was waiting at that bus stop, right? And that bus was coming along. I saw it coming. All right, you're going to get it now. And I was going to get on the bus, right?
Same driver, obviously.
Well, this is the problem. This is the problem. So the bus comes along. I thought, right, I'm going to get him now. He soaked me yesterday, and he laughed about it. I could see him laughing. I was going to give him the whole load of my lemon.
Jiffy.
Lemon. I was going to give him that right in the gob, you know, and I was going to do it like a magician. I was going to offer him some money, you know, for my ticket, and then, you know what I mean, right in his gob, you know, and get him, and then run off the bus, you know, as you do, you know, bravely. Anyway, bus pulled up. I got on as a woman driver. So it clearly wasn't him. You know what I mean? No. So I was thwarted. But anyway, I
just tell you something, just talking about buses. My uncle used to be a bus driver.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. You've got a very interesting family, because one of your brothers is an architect.
Correct. He used to be a bus driver, and to entertain, because listen, if you think about it, as a bus driver, when you're just pulling in, people are getting on, and you pull over, and then they get off, and then to entertain yourself a bit during the day, he used to, actually, as he was driving along, hit the brake a little bit. So is it, you know, like all the people that are standing
people
up,
would fall over?
Well, not fall over, but sort of
that's
like
outrageous.
That, you know, down the bus a bit, and then
that's outrageous.
And as they're going up the stairs with 2 bags of shopping, you know, just hit the brake a little bit, and just have them rattling a little bit as they're going up the stairs.
This was a Townsend, was it?
No, this wasn't a Townsend. This his name. He was a lever.
A lever.
My mum's side.
He should have been levered off his job for throwing people downstairs. But funny you should say that. One time when I used to get into town here, I could either walk if it was nice to the studio I was working at, or I could get a bus if it was raining. I never got on the bus because the same young girl was driving this bus every day. Right. She was a maniac. She thought she was Sterling Moss.
Yeah.
So you get on the bus, right, unless you were holding onto a pole like that, and it was...
really flat,
and then straight on the brakes, because the stops are about every 200 yards, you know, down the high street to the studio. So you've got to be very careful about it. But anyway, we digress, mate. The other thing about buses, which really
we digress, but let's carry on.
Yeah, which really gets me is this sign which says you can't talk to the bus driver and the bus is in motion. Are you supposed to tell the bus driver you want to stop?
Well, you press a button.
Yeah, but they don't always listen to these buttons, do they? People are pressing them buttons all the time. It's just a jingle of noise. I often say to drivers, stop here. Because if it's raining, I want them to stop where the bus stop is not. You can order buses to stop anywhere.
Can you?
It's a public service vehicle.
What, any in between stops?
Absolutely.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
You wouldn't do it.
Yes, you can. I'm telling you, because where I live down in Stockbroker Belt territory, there's a few old people's homes on the other side. Not old people's homes, but the McCarthy and Stone type thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, they knock down a couple of old houses, build a big one.
Build a lovely new block of flats.
Yeah, the old people there, they have railings all over the place and all that. Makes it look a bit geriatric, actually. But nevertheless, so when they come out, they can't walk very far.
Yes.
So they just wave to the bus stops. It's duty bound to. It's a public service vehicle. Didn't know that.
Well, in fact, I've been on the number... Oh, dear. I've been up and down on a bus in Chelsea recently.
Oh, really?
I didn't even
realise.
What
was it?
I think it was the 22.
The 22,
I think it was the 22 that Maggie Thatcher used to use, by all accounts.
Oh, really?
It was her favourite bus route.
Have you seen Iron Lady?
I haven't.
No.
Lads, sorry to interrupt, but can I tell a quick... I got on a bus last Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday, you go on about buses.
Yeah.
So I always get the 205.
Oh, the 205. You're on the 22, he's on the 205.
205.
Yeah.
And this day, I'm like waiting for the 205, it's not coming. It was last Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, I'd done a 10-hour shift at work, just wanted to get home.
Yeah.
And I got on the number 30, I thought that goes to Angel, I can walk down from Angel, that's not too far. It's not
Angel, this is in
bus.
North London.
Yeah, North London.
Yeah.
So I get on the bus, I'm travelling along, I call up my girlfriend to chat to her, say, listen, I'll be back and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
What's going on? And the next thing I know, we passed Coco, which used to be the Camden Palace.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God.
So you missed your stop?
I've missed, or something, but I didn't know this went to Camden. So I went downstairs and everyone is kind of looking around them and the bus is just going and going. And then I said, does this stop at Angel, to this guy? And this little guy just said, we're lost. And I was like...
What, the driver?
What?
Yeah.
And he said, we're lost, we're bloody lost.
Yeah.
So I was like, hang on.
Yeah.
And I went up and I was like, I could have knocked him. You're not supposed to talk to the driver, right?
Yeah.
So I walked up and the driver's just like
So
sat there, hunched
knocking
over it. And I was
on
like,
the window.
mate, do we stop at Angel? And he's like, I am lost.
That was it.
And he just kept driving off.
Well, I'll tell you about a story in that. Right, we met in Moscow for, it was either the England game or the Champions League final.
Chelsea Man United.
That's right. Anyway, so the next day, we had a great night afterwards. Bit of hospitality in the ground and all that.
Yeah.
Do it well in Russia. If you've got money in Russia, it's great. So anyway, next morning I was told to rendezvous at the Hyatt Hotel. I was staying in another hotel.
Yes.
Rendezvous at the Hyatt, and it's like executive travel, and a coach will come up and pick you up and take you to the airport to take you home. You see? Oh, okay, fine. Two things happened, right? Firstly, in the Hyatt Hotel, I met a couple of fans who clocked me from my radio days, and I bought them a bottle of wine and had a glass with them, and they were getting on the same bus to go to the same place.
You bought them a bottle of wine and virtually drunk their wine.
Well, I bought two bottles, one for me and one for them. You see what I mean? Yeah, because we were leaving Moscow and all that kind of stuff. Love Moscow. Anyway, like 3 weeks later, you get your credit card bill and all that. I'd been charged 700 quid for those two bottles of wine.
What?
The bill came in rubles, didn't it? And
so you just sign it and don't
know.
Well,
in front of these fans, you don't want to make out your penny pinch or anything like that. So you thought, okay,
get your
mate.
phone out and try and start calculating it.
Exactly, and I wasn't the only one. Lots of people, including Joe Cole's mum and dad.
The night before that game, I went for a bit of grub with Richard Keys, Andy Gray, Graham Souness was there. I think Jamie Redknapp was there.
Yeah.
There was about eight people in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And when the bill came up, it was something like, and I'm kid you not, $7.5 grand.
$7.5 grand. Did you spot it?
No, well, I mean, and it was ridiculous because I think whoever handed over their credit card to start with, it wouldn't have worked.
Couldn't take it,
and there was a guy on the door that was kind of about 6'4", and he had muscles in his cheekbones.
And you weren't
Do you know
getting
what
out
I mean?
there
And he weren't moving, and it was like someone's got to stump up the bill here. And I think we all looked at Suey, we all looked at Graham, and I think Graham handed over his credit card and said he'll try and claim it back.
I mean, couldn't the five of you put in for $1.5 grand each or something?
Well, we could have done. We could have done, but I think it was one of those.
Were you giving it the beluga caviar and champagne?
No, it was real. We had some what we thought were just nice bottles of wine, just the food and everything else, and they were like ripping us off everywhere.
But anyway, look, this is about a bus, wasn't it?
Yes.
We digress again. So we get on this bus, and we've literally got 4 hours before the plane takes off. So I said and it was like an executive luxury bus. I said to the driver, get us to the airport, mate, as soon as you can. I want to get into the lounge with me mates and have a drink, before we get on the plane. He didn't speak any English at all, so I thought, well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, he sets off, right, and we get onto the Moscow equivalent of the M25, right?
Right.
and after about like an hour and a half, because I was told the journey was going to take 25 minutes out to the airport. After an hour and a half,
felt like you might want to just ask him something.
Well, he didn't speak any English, you see, but I realised that actually we just passed a landmark on the equivalent of the M25 that I'd seen an hour and a half ago.
Well, so you've been looping round?
We've gone round the M25, and we'd already gone round once, right? So, you know, what do? I get my phone out, and I ring luckily I knew the travel agent guy was. It was one of those companies that organised the tours, you know what I mean? I rang him, I said, Dave, this is Mikey, yeah, what's the problem? I said, the problem is, mate, we're on a bus which is going around in circles around the Moscow equivalent, the M25, and we're supposed to go into the airport. I said, no real crisis at the moment, still got 2 hours to go, but I want to get to the airport. Oh, leave it to me. I've got a Russian-speaking, the Russian-speaking guy speaks on the phone to the driver, and says, this man does not know where the airport is. I said, how can you miss an airport in Moscow? It's a big place with runways, jumbo jets coming in and out. You know, I said,
lots of people.
I said, I can see planes flying all over Moscow. I know exactly where the airport is, sort of in the general direction. This guy's heading in the other. It was a fiasco. We got there.
So what'd you do?
Got there with 20 minutes to spare, and literally give it the old sprint down the corridors like that.
Running for the plane.
Running for the plane.
Nothing worse.
And I've got a worse one than that. What happened to me once coming back from Croatia? Croatia's not a great place. Frankfurt Airport. So we come into
Why would you go via Frankfurt to Croatia?
You have to Zagreb.
You don't have to.
Well, we did. Lufthansa.
Cheap.
Lufthansa. Thank you for flying Lufthansa. Shall I tell you that joke? Yeah, let me tell you the joke about it. It's worth having. So you're on this Lufthansa plane, and you know the way the Germans are super efficient, and flying across the Atlantic, and
Lufthansa's Dutch.
Lufthansa's German. Lufthansa's German.
Yes.
Lufthansa's German. And you know the Germans are very efficient, but they're also very good at what they do. They make great cars and all that, so you think they make great planes. And a voice comes over the speaker, you know, ladies and gentlemen, we are sorry to have to tell you we have a bit of the problem with the plane, and we are going to have to go down into the Atlantic. The good news is the first-class passengers, there are lifeboats for you, and there will not be a problem. And for the business-class passengers, there are plenty of life belts and life jackets, and you will not have a problem. German helicopter will arrive and pluck you out of the sea. And for the passengers in economy, well, thank you for flying Lufthansa. that's not anti-German, yeah.
Have you got any more German jokes?
It's an indication of a German joke. But anyway,
definitely sounded more Dutch.
I thought it was quite a
Those stand-up comics in Germany, by the way, I bet they're booked out every night of the week.
Yeah.